What's up, Digidestins? This is Kyle D, better known as RideMyAvatar, and today I think it's time to go over what I'm playing for the Gen Con Regional today, and I figured it'd be awesome to show off none other than King Drazel itself, aka the Royal Knights. So without further ado, let's dive into this deck profile and talk about it. So first off, let's get into the Digitama. It's none other than King Drazel himself. King Drazel, really powerful card. The fact of breeding your turn, one of the few cards that actually has a breeding effect that basically, the only card, let's be honest. There are some cards that can interact with breeding, but hey, all turns your Digimon can't digivolve. Breeding once per turn when a Royal Knight would be played, reduce it by 4, but you can reduce it for 1 for every source in this Digi-Evolution, so the bigger he gets, the better it's off. Breeding, start a main, reveal the top card of your deck, Digi Egg deck, and then place it at the top. Bottom of this Digi-Evolution card, and all your Royal Knights go underneath as well. So, and then it has an inheritable when an option with Royal Knights in his traits is placed into the battle area, gain 1 memory. Remember, that is only going to be anything that has the delay cost, because everything else just goes to trash right instantly after use. It never touched the battle area. So 4 King Drazels. Then let's get into the supporting cast. First off, we have Sistermon Blanc at 3. So the fact of Decoy really does help out in some circumstances, but on play, trash 1 card in your hand, draw 2. So being able to cycle out pieces, I think, is vital. So that's why I think putting her at 3 because of the decoy and everything like that is just useful. Then we have 4 of none other than Omekimon himself. So first off, Omekimon's on play, draw a card. On deletion, place 1 card with Royal Knights in his traits from your hand to the bottom Digi-Evolution card of your King Drazel, basically in your breeding area. So I find that useful. 4 of him. He's kind of mandatory out of 4. If you are not playing 4, you're playing the deck wrong. So, Omekimon, the little guy that wants to be a Royal Knight, though he has no memory. Then we have the first Royal Knight in the level 4 category. So we have Magnamon. So basically, it's a blocker, but all turns when this card would leave the battle area, draw a card. And then basically then you can place 1 V-Mon from your hand or in this Digi-Evolution card without paying its cost. I think it's not terrible. Could be better. I mean, hey, draw advantage is useful in any categories, right? So definitely we want at least 4 of it. And it's a blocker. A cheap blocker. And one of your first starters. Then we do play 1 Sistermon CL. So, on play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 Huckmon or Royal Knights traits among them, trash the rest. Then all turns, all your Digimon with Huckmon or Royal Knights in his traits gain reboot. Not bad. I think it's just a spicy one of. To be honest with you, you're most likely killing your opponent. The only time you're going to be removing your stack is if you have to produce a giant amount of blockers to survive. Then we have Poor Cupmon because you have to respect Psychmon in this format, and being able to, be able to pop it twice because on play and on deletion, delete one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon is good. Hard play him. It just helps out. Now let's get into the big boys. First off, we have 4 Dynasmon. So Dynasmon, really solid. You want to play him at 4 because of his on play effect is a digging effect. So reveal the top 4 cards of your deck, add up to 2. Add a card with Lucimon in its name, or add up to 2 cards with Lucimon in its name, or the Royal Knight trait among them to your hand, trash the rest. He just digs a little deeper, and then your turn, when you play another Digimon with Lucimon in its name, or Royal Knights in its traits, delete all your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. Not bad. I think that's pretty solid, actually. So 4 of him, kind of mandatory 4. Then we do play 3 Leopardmon. Leopardmon basically is the go-getter of the deck a little bit. Has some decent synergy here. So when digivolving, but main, the reason why you like him a lot is because of his main effect. Is that you may play 1 green Digimon or Royal Knight trade Digimon from your hand for the play cost. When you would play it by the effect, reduce it by 4. but also all turns when you play another Digimon, all your green and or Royal Knights gain blocker until the end of opponent's turn. Just a very solid blocker creator, but also being able to, if you use the, assemble the Royal Knights, the option card, not assemble, it's Royal Knights of the Purge. That card will, at least if you have Leopardmon in there, you'll play something. You haven't used your King Drazel's effect yet, so you can play another thing with his effect for a reduced cost, and you'll gain some decent memory out of this. Well, it will cost decently less, so it's not terrible in my opinion. Then we do play 3 Jessamon. Same reason why we play Leopard at 3. I think Jessamon's vital, but 4 is just too much, and 3, I want to definitely see this card at a certain point. It just answers a lot of threats. Being able to, first start off deleting a 6000 DP, and then for each of your other Digimon, add 2000 DP to the maximum this DP space deletion can delete. Not terrible. I think that's pretty solid across the board. And, I like cards that can remove threats easy. So, then we do have 3 Alphamon, because Alphamon says, I don't have to listen to you, King Drazel. So, big thing there, but also prevents all your opponent's Digimon with 10 or higher cannot attack players until the end of turn. So, by placing 1 card with X Antibody or Royal Knights for his on play, not terrible, but he can basically remove by returning an X Antibody or Royal Knights from his trace from the Digivolution to the bottom of the deck, prevent it from being removed by an effect. So King Drazel forces everybody to go underneath him, while Alphamon can stay on the board at least 1 extra turn. So that's not terrible. Then we do play 3 Gallantmon Secrets. Now, definitely a lot of people are up in the air with how many they want to play, but to me, I definitely enjoy having 3 Gallantmons. So Gallantmon's just really good because he comes in cheaper and cheaper by himself. So when you would play this card from your hand, if you have no Digimon, reduce the cost by 2 for every 5 cards in your opponent's trash. So against purple decks, you really punish them for it. Then on play, when Digivolving, when attacking, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 6000 DP or less. If no Digimon was deleted by this effect, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 13,000 DP or more. So basically, anything 8,000 to 12, you're not going to do anything. But if they have 13s, which is a certain Balphamon has, and above, like any level 7s or certain level 6s, just keep that in mind. But being able to kill most champions is really vital. And it's not once per turn, so that on play will activate, but also the when attacking activates too. So you can pop 2. Not terrible. Then we do have Craniumon, just a big beefy blocker, but, on play when Digivolving until the end of your opponent's turn, this Digimon isn't affected by the effects of your opponent's Digimon. So basically, he can't get his DP minus through against Shine Boy, anything like that. Anything that would force him through their Digimon would trigger it, prevents it. But end of opponent's turn, choose one of your opponent's Digimon. Your opponent can't attack with that. Your opponent attacks with that chosen Digimon. So by forcing them to attack, they might not be ready to, swing in. So Craniumon can block it, especially since he's 13,000. Very big beefy boy. Then we do play 2 All Force. I think 2 All Force is really solid, just because of its on play. So for each of your Digimon with Royal Knight in his traits, and each of your Blue Tamers, trash the top 2 Digievolution of one of your opponent's Digimon. And then your turn, when your Digimon with Royal Knights or Blue Tamer is played, your opponent Digimon with no Digievolution card is returned to their hand. So just removing more threats off the board, really solid. And especially against the matchup that we know and love, we should be able to counter it a little bit better. Then we have 2 Genkumon, basically blocker, but he's on play. Without paying the cost, you can take a Sistermon from your trash, or 1 Digimon card with Royal Knights in his traits from the Digievolutions of one of your Digimon in his breeding areas. This Digimon cannot play Omni or Genkumon, because it would just get way too ridiculous. They don't gain rush or anything, but you can spit out a body, combo off really nicely, get a good wide board. I like seeing it, but I also don't want to see it right away. I don't want to see it in my opening hand. I want to draw into him later, which is more vital. And then we do play one Kentoris because a Royal Knight. So Kentoris is basically on play when digivolving. So if there's a 6 or lower total of cards in both players' security stack, gain 3 memory. Reveal 1 card in your hand. If it's a yellow, place it at the top of your security stack, face down. If not, return it to your hand, but when attacking, by trashing the top card of your security stack, unsuspend the Digimon. One of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 12,000 DP for the turn. Well, minus 7,000, not 12. So, being able to remove threats and basically a free restand is never bad. We do play one Raid Gallant Boy, just because he's a good threat removal when attacking. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 6,000 DP or less. If no Digimon was deleted by this effect, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. And then it's got raid, so it can raid into one of your opponent's Digimon. Really solid. Then we have Lord Nightmon can return one of your Royal Knights from your trash to your hand. An opponent's turn, when an opponent's Digimon attacks, gain 1 memory for each of your Digimon with Royal Knights in its traits. So, basically can slow down and lock out your opponent. Then we play one Examon because of its on play. Suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Then this Digimon... that Digimon does not unsuspend until your opponent's next unsuspend phase. So that's really solid. All turns, when an opponent's Digimon becomes suspended, activate one of the effects below. Suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Unsuspend one of your Digimon. Just not a bad beefy boy. Wish he had blocker, though, so he could at least block twice. Would be really nice. But you just use other stuff. And then we got 4 of the Omni Boy. Omnimon, just really powerful. He has 2 basically on-play effects. One, he'll take everything from your King Drazel, spit it out. Usually you save that towards the end, but you may delete one of your opponent's Digimon to play, or you can delete one of them, basically you can get a free pop, which is really solid, or you can spit out a whole board. Just being like Avengers Assemble kind of moment. Then we do have Royal Knight Purge. This card draws you a card, but also has delay. Play 1 Royal Knights from its Digivolution of one of your Digimon in the breeding area without paying its cost. On play, if this effect on that Digimon is played by an effect, does not activate. So its on plays are negated, but it gains Rush for the turn. So that means, like, if you use Leopardmon, pull it out, you can spit out another body. If you use, there are a few other exceptions. So, that's not bad. Then we do play 2 Marcuses, again, for respecting the Shine matchup a little bit, but it's more or less for the Psychmons. You just want to answer Psychmon. So let's just space this all out real quick. And then you guys can see what the deck looks like, fully spaced out. And then you guys can snapshot it, do whatever you want with it. Or tell me it sucks. Or did I do it wrong? Oh no, you picked bad cards. All that good stuff at the end of this video. So, definitely let me know what you guys think. And tell me. So, yeah. That's the deck list. That's the deck profile. Guys, hopefully you enjoyed the deck profile. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Stay safe. Stay healthy. And I'll catch you next one. Peace!